Welcome to round 2, game 2. In the top left of Mountain Pass Twilight, we have everybody's favorite goo player, Cowboy Dan. In the bottom right of Mountain Pass Twilight, playing as beta, we have everybody's favorite beta streamer, Krux. We're going to see a single refinery and single factory being produced by Krux here, and both scouts are now making their way towards the center of the map. We had a crazy game between Krux and Cowboy Dan just now. Game 1, 18 minutes, which is longer than you tend to have in beta versus goo. Just harassment all over the map, on the bottom, in the center, and the top. Fighting tooth and nail for expansions. We saw Krux doing some very clever play with his upgrades on his commandos and hailstorms, transitioning from predators in the early game into stalkers and hailstorms and seekers in the late game with Stratus support, and that was pretty much his entire build for the entire game. We had some interesting dweller play from Cowboy Dan, as well as sprinkling in some destructors and of course a huge amount of goo tier 1 units. So let's see if we see either of these players change up their build this game, or if they're going to be doing the exact same thing. The Drover wins the Commando versus Drover engagement here in the center, but Krux is actually making a proxy up here, and I'm not sure the Drover can see it up this ramp. That's yet another thing that we simply don't know in this particular mode of observation. If I had to guess, though, it didn't look like the Drover reacted, and I think that these two factories are going to go up without Cowboy Dan realizing it. So Krux is changing his build up from super greed to super aggression, and I'm almost certain that he's going to pause this refinery. Yes, he has. It is a fake second refinery. He's only spent 100, or I don't actually know. Some small, like about 100 catalysts, I guess, on this refinery. And he's just going to leave it paused while he produces commandos out of these two factories, I believe. Yes, there we go. We will see commandos being produced out of this factory. These two factories, this proxy, I should say. The Drover has scouted the refinery and is now going to leave the base. Wow, and Cowboy Dan just went with a second mother, so I think he has no idea about this 3-factory all-in from Krux. He thinks that his opponent went with a double refinery build and just split a second mother. This could be bad news for Cowboy Dan. He is now going to have to fight a 3-factory all-in from Krux using only mothers and a single Drover. The commandos are really going to start applying a lot of pressure very soon. Once Krux locates these mothers, Cowboy Dan is going to be in a lot of trouble. He does have access to one small protean now. This one, ooh, nice pickup by Cowboy Dan. Takes out a commando there on the cliff. Krux needs to be a little bit more careful about avoiding those cliffs. But the price Cowboy Dan pays for picking up that commando is that his opponent now knows where this mother is, and a lot of commandos are on their way. It's going to come down to micro now. If Krux can successfully punish Cowboy Dan's early mother split, this could be the game. There goes the Drover. He splits a small protean in reaction to what's happening here. Another Drover gets picked up. That is how many commandos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 8 commandos! Another Drover gets picked up by a commando on the flank here. Cowboy Dan being forced to spawn all these small proteans. He has no choice. This is going to be a maximum of 10 Drovers now. 10 Drovers against 8 commandos, with more commandos coming in. Tower going up. Uh-oh, split, Krux, split, what are you doing? Oh no, he's taking so much damage! Oh my god, Krux, what happened? He just lost so many commandos. That was painful to watch. The commandos are going to keep flooding in, but he's going to have to do all of these engagements way more carefully than that last one if he's going to have any chance of winning this. Much better split here. He has taken out several Drovers, but he's going to lose this engagement. And Krux just sold his proxy. Krux sold his proxy and is now getting a second refinery here. Interesting. I think that once Krux lost that initial engagement, he immediately decided that his early aggression had failed, and that it was better to try and transition into the mid-game than to attempt to stick with that all-in. Question now becomes, is the economic damage that Krux just inflicted sufficient to transition him into the mid game? Tank attachment going up. He's going to try and get himself some predators out of this factory. He's got a small hub being created, and he's building some defensive walls as well. There's currently 2 small proteans and 3 drovers making their way into his base. In fact, if Cowboy Dan had all into him, he would probably have lost at this point. But he did not do that, and Krux should be able to hold this position for now. Wow, look at this greed! A 3rd refinery? Wow. I think his assumption is that his opponent is not going to pressure him and is just macroing up in the back. He doesn't anticipate any kind of all-in from his opponent. I can't believe Crux's greed here. And he's right, Cowboy Dan is going to simply split mothers in the back. Krux is just reading his opponent like a book this game. We will see Harvester harassment here. No, changed his mind. There was that defensive turret in the Harvester line. It's discouraging Cowboy Dan from applying a little too much pressure, I think. The refinery is about to finish, and then we will see Predators. There it goes. Four mothers from Cowboy Dan now. What an interesting opening to a game. I have never seen a game like this where the beta went with an aggressive double factory proxy and then sold it into a 2nd and then 3rd refinery. This has been a unique game. That much is for sure. Sometimes when I watch Krux play in this tournament, I wonder if it's the same Krux that we all watch stream. Because he really breaks out the experimental strats in tourney play. There's no doubt about that. That 6th refinery opening last game. And the double factory proxy into quadruple refinery, excuse me, opening this game, and the refinery will complete now. Look at this insane greed from Krux. He is just going to macro up as much as his opponent lets him, and he is going to mine the crap out of this central resource expansion. Something to keep in mind, on Mountain Pass daytime, or just regular Mountain Pass, if you will, the center of this river has a +10 area that you can fit 2 extractors on, but on the Twilight version, the only +10 spigots are here and here, so you cannot mine this expansion quite as efficiently on the Twilight version of this map, which is an interesting difference between the two. Another difference is that there are no +13 catalyst vents here in the center. It's actually quite a lot of differences, I guess, between the two. Now that Krux has completed 4 refineries, he's throwing up a ton of production in his base. We've got 2 more standard factories, 4 more standard factories, but no attachments, just to produce stalkers. Meanwhile, we've got artillery, air, stealth, and large factories, so he's going to be getting seekers, cloudbursts, and hailstorms out of this large factory. And Cowboy Dan is just continuing to sit here on these mountains. He's definitely not applying any pressure to his opponent at all, and just making mothers, mothers, and more mothers. Both of them just going crazy on their economy here. I almost wonder if Krux is just going to skip the Predator phase of his build entirely. He's made 2. He transitioned out of Predators last game. Well, I wonder if he's going to do the same this game. Oh no, oh yeah, he's made 2. He's made 2, he's got a 3rd one on the way. So he's going to make at least 3. 4, excuse me. Missed the one in the turret there. Okay. So he's got a decent amount. Cowboy Dan's contain is definitely going to break very soon, but he has just spawned a large protean. And a 5th refinery is going up here in Crux's base. Large factory still hasn't quite completed, but the small factories are producing commandos. All making commandos. Uh-oh, Predator's gonna get picked up here. And he doesn't kill anything in return. I wonder where he was going with that. 6th refinery going up now. Krux playing very greedy. I almost wonder if Cowboy's Dan's surrender last game was premature. Because Krux was mined out. Cowboy Dan didn't realize that. But I think Crux's production last game was going to wane very soon. If Cowboy Dan had held out for a little bit longer, who knows how that game might have gone. Crescents have been produced. Do we have any cloudbursts yet? Doesn't look like it. He's gonna have to get some. We have no hangar yet either, so no Stratus for vision. Krux leaving his base, making his way towards the south. He's going to encounter some destructors here. Oh god, they have the splash upgrade and there are a lot of them. Ouch, he just took a lot of losses there. And these Crescents are wreaking havoc on everything in Crux's base. Stalker's getting taken out. Hangar being produced now. More hailstorms being produced. Still no cloudbursts to protect him from all this artillery, and it hurts. Bastion being spawned. 6 destructors. More large proteans on the way. It does not look good for Krux here. It's going to be up to him to break free of this containment. If this containment holds, I think that's going to be the game. Cloudbursts have been spawned, fortunately, and they'll be able to keep that artillery off his base for a while. But will he be able to get rid of these 6 destructors and Bastion with the splash upgrade? Bastion goes down. All of Crux's artillery just got blasted though. 2 large Proteans just waltzing right into the base. Pick up a bunch of commandos and cloudbursts. Bastion could go down here. It's falling very low. There it goes. Bastion goes down. He morphs another one. More large Proteans on the way. Morphs another Bastion. 2 more destructors. The Crescents continue to fire. The cloudbursts doing what they can to keep that artillery from landing. But Krux is just so low on units right now. And more large Proteans are on the way. It seems that there's no end to this flood of goo. Hub goes down, refinery goes down, there it is, GG, well played. Cowboy Dan's having none of it, and he will win. This is going to be the very first time in the tournament that a matchup has gone to the ace game. These 2 players are clearly a very even match, and we're going to see, finally, for the first time, grasslands when we make our way into Game 3. 2-minute break, and we'll be right back.